But when it comes to saving your hard-earned cash, does the temptation to spend let you down?
Well, here to reveal how to keep your savings out of reach is finance expert Tim Guest. Tim, good morning to you. Saving money, well, it does take a bit of willpower. How can we make it easier for ourselves?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Look, firstly, statistics show that 50% of Australians spend every single cent that they earn, and in fact, a third spend even more. So rather than relying on your willpower or self-discipline to save, the best way to do it is actually setting up structures that simply don't require it. So one of the most simple and effective ways of doing this is setting up an automatic recurring payment that will take it into a separate account. Now, this account's actually going to become more of your savings account rather than your spending account. Now, look, this is very simple to do through your online banking, or of course you could actually just pop into your local branch. And because it's automatic and you physically don't have to transfer money from one account to another, you don't have to rely on your memory, and it's really just going to remove the temptation to spend.
Is this the same thing as accessing our savings account, or is it slightly different?
Yeah, look, I personally would have a completely separate account set up. So money where you put money into it and you're just going to leave it there and not touch it.
Okay. All right. Tim, we carry around a digital shop in our pockets every day, don't you, with our phones. What are your tips when it comes to online shopping?
Yeah, look, great. I mean, technology, like everything with technology, right, there's pros and there's cons. We want to really utilise the advantages and stay away from those things that could be dangerous. So one of the things that I really like is using online grocery shopping. This way it can ensure that we're only going to be purchasing those things that are actually on our shopping list, rather than kind of getting caught up in those impulse purchases that we might find in the aisles. Okay, so that's a really great way to start. Look, the other thing that I would do is never use buy now, pay later kind of apps. The reality is if you can't afford it now, chances are you're not going to be able to afford it later, despite what we might be telling ourselves. And look, keep using those physical barriers. Don't do things like saving credit card details in websites, and of course also remove all those subscriptions to those retailer emails, because that's just going to prevent you from buying those things that you really don't.
How does carrying around just cash help?
Look, this is a really great way of doing it. You know, nowadays, particularly with things like tap and go, you know, money can often be a kind of out of mind, out of sight kind of thing. I mean, it's, you know, we very often spend money without thinking about it. You know, I mean, how many times do you go back to your bank account and kind of look at the bank balance and wonder where that money is gone? So that's what I would recommend when it comes to that sort of stuff.
All right, and talk us through your 24-hour rule.
Yeah, look, this one's really, really simple. If you do stumble across something that you really do want to buy, just give yourself 24 hours to think about it. And it's way more effective than you really might think. Look, retailers, salespeople, very good at eliciting that kind of emotional response and getting us kind of all salivating about that next purchase. So by giving yourself this kind of cooling off period, you'll probably actually realise that in most cases, you don't actually want it that bad.
Also, don't be afraid to reward yourself every now and then, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important to reward yourself. Like, you know, you want to make sure that if you're just being frugal, it's probably going to set you up for failure in the long term. So, you know, set financial goals and make sure that you reward yourself when you get there. But of course, we just got to be careful that the reward is appropriate to the goal that we've set. Like, you don't want to go on a holiday if you've just hit your savings targets for a couple of months.
Yeah, really good tips, Tim. Do you say why not?
Why not? Sounds like a really good idea. For more smart money tips, head to 9saver.com.au. Thank you, man.